EFL fixture of the weekend. It rounds off the Premiership action for today as well. Ross County taking on Hearts. It's live with us here in Sports, and you can listen on digital, medium wave, or if you're going to your smart speaker, ask for BBC Radio Scotland Extra. Get us online as well, bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. So many ways to listen. Ross County against Hearts, live here on Sports, and with Alan Preston, Stuart Kettlewell and Rob McLean.
Thanks, Richard. The two sets of players just lined up in front of us in the main stand, and backing the show racers in the red card stance before they get down to business here. And as you said just moments ago, massive incentive for Hearts to get all 3 points today, although maybe clever money would be on a draw considering there have been so many of those between these two teams. But if Hearts can get all 3 points, then they will certainly shunt themselves significantly up the Premiership placings and get into an area of the league table where they reckon they should be. That win on Thursday night against RFS at Tynecastle was only their first win in 7 games. It's just been very difficult to get onto any sort of winning run for them so far this season, but you would have to build into the equation the fact there's been so much team disruption, so much chopping and changing at the back, different formations, different personnel, and again today, of course, with Stephen Kingsley ruled out, and they will hope that Toby Sibbick picks up where he left off on Thursday with the sort of performance he showed in central defence. He's got Alex Cochrane for a company. This time around it will be Andy Halliday at left back, and the change for Hearts sees Robert Snodgrass coming into the team, and Connor Smith, of course, as well. The two changes to the lineup. George Grant on the bench, and just about all set to go here. David Dickinson is the referee. The sun is out, and just about all set to go here. The Ross County team, just the one change, enforced change, with Ross Callaghan out. Jan Danda starts for the home team, and looking to find the route to goal, which has evaded them regularly this season. It's the statistic that screams out from Ross County's record so far this season. Underway in the sunshine in Dingwall. Ross County get us started, and a long diagonal immediately played up towards Jordan White, who flicks it on. Jordi Hawula heading for the byline, whips in a left foot cross, which is fended away by Alex Cochrane at the near post. It is a very lively start, Stuart, from the home team.
Yeah, exactly as expected, Rob. I thought Ross County would target that left side of the Hearts defence with Jordan White, and initially wins the flick on. Jordi Hawula's on his bike, he's in that space in behind him, and they bring the early corner, so good start for the home side.
Corner kick on the right side for County, played in by Jan Danda, and defended well enough by Hearts. A couple of players down as they just got that clear of the immediate danger zone, and the home team looking to keep the heat on, but they can't get the ball back into the box, and in the end it goes out on the far side for a throw-in for Hearts. And Michael Smith to take it. Yeah, some casualty list really when you look at it for Hearts, with Boyce and Meningamy, Halkett, Rolls, Atkinson, Gary Mackay-Stephen, no Devlin, no Haring, no Humphreys. That's just about a team, Al.
It is a team. Most of them are starters as well, Rob.
Yeah.
But you know, they need the big players to step up. Janelli needs to maintain his form from Thursday. Sibbick was brilliant on Thursday evening. Cochrane's been great, whether he played wing back, left back, now it's centre half today. And Snodgrass is getting better with every game.
Yeah.
You just see him improving. He's getting more minutes in his legs.
Well, he's got real quality about him, isn't he? He's not going to run away from anybody these days, but when he has the ball at his feet, very creative. And of course, if he gets into the attacking areas, he can certainly finish. He's done enough of that in the past. Cochrane plays it up to Barry Mackay. Hearts want a big performance from him in Dingwall. Back with Halliday. Andy Halliday scored with that deflected strike on Thursday. Robbie Nielsen in front of us, very animated in the technical area as he looks to get his team firing right from the early stages here. But it's County who are on the attack up towards the edge of the area. George Harman supporting on the overlap, defended well enough by Hearts, and it goes out in fact for the Hearts throw-in 10 yards from the corner flag, right hand side. Ross County 0, Hearts 0. The early moments on the back of Celtic's 3-0 win at Livingston, which sounded very, very comfortable for the league leaders, who open up their 4-point advantage again at the top. Ross County looking to get themselves off the bottom. A point would get them above Dundee United, and if they can get all 3 points, they would move level with Kilmarnock in third bottom spot. Smith with the throw for Hearts, targeting Shankland. He's surrounded by blue shirts. Eventually is relieved of possession. Cancola for County. Back to Baldwin, who shimmies away from the Shankland challenge. And when Lawrence Shankland did eventually get there, he bundled over County's number 5. Free kick is quickly taken, and it's Danda in possession. Then Callum Johnson out at right back. And from Baldwin to Iacovitti, central defence. His left foot sends it down the pitch beyond Jordan White. Toby Sibbick gets his body in the way and ushers it behind for the goal kick.
It's been quite a decent start from Ross County. A lot of touches of the ball. There was a chance there. Sure, I don't know, Awura had a chance when he had the overlap. He played a poor pass.
Wasteful, yeah, very much so. Sibbick's out of position as well, Alan. You know, he stepped forward with the ball. Ross County turned it over, and that's the small margins. Again, Ross County getting to the final third, no centre back in position, and he just plays a sloppy pass. But it has been a positive start from Ross County. I think it's so important that they keep that support up towards Jordan White. Anytime they're playing that longer pass, it's important the wide players and the number 10s in touching distance. Yeah,
they're putting good pressure on as well. Good pressing there from Hewula and White, forcing the error from Cochrane. The ball goes out for the throw-in. Midway inside the Hearts half, County have it. Johnson gets the ball back from Cancola. Clipped down the line, but it's a lazy pass. It's a pretty poor pass from Johnson, and Danda can do nothing with it and bounces behind. County have got themselves into a decent area there.
Rob, just early on in the game, I think that they're going to allow Sibbick to have the ball. That's the one that they're isolating. Sibbick will have the ball when he wants. They're going to stop Cochrane and Halliday, try and get the ball to Mackay on this left-hand side. So you'll see that White will probably put himself onto Cochrane. There's a mismatch in height there as well.
Yeah. I was listening to you talking about the first game of the season, the Hearts at home to Ross County. I actually did the commentary on that game on the day, and County could have been about 2 or 3 up at half time, and Hearts ended up winning by 2-1. And I think lots of us thought at that point, wow, Ross County are going to be some team this season, and it hasn't really developed from there, Stuart.
No, it's not, and I think that there has been a lot of chopping and changing in terms of the personnel trying to find a solution. Just as they get Danda on the ball, that's one, Rob, that I'm really looking forward to seeing in this game. Need to get him touches of the ball.
And he finds Hewula with his pass, rolled back out to Johnson at the edge of the box on the left foot. Great hit from him as well. And it's a diving stop from Craig Gordon. Back in from Hewula. Hearts under pressure. Down goes Jordan White. But it doesn't matter because the ball broke to Hewula, and it's not going to count. The flag is up as Ross County went into full celebration mode. And Hewula has his head in his hands now because it's not going to count.
I think there'll be a check here. The initial contact comes from Cochrane on Jordan White. He goes for the header. I don't know if it's enough for a penalty. Obviously it will be checked. The offside, I think, is the correct call. I think obviously Hewula's kind of caught in that wrong side, but yeah, just interested to see what the VAR comes up with here, because for me Cochrane knows that he's second best in terms of stature, so I think he's tried to be overly physical with White. I don't know if he's went down a touch too easy, Rob, but we'll see. Yeah,
it was a clumsy challenge, wasn't it, from Cochrane on White before the ball broke to Hewula, before he lashed it into the back of the net. It was some finish from him, and the celebrations were underway as the County players looked across and saw the flag was up. So we are in that waiting mode to find out what VAR is going to make of that.
It's an excellent finish, as you said, from Hewula. It really is. He takes it so well. He's naturally a striker, and Malky's asked him to play on this right hand side, and I think again it's to have as much of a goal threat as he possibly can. So obviously it's going to take a wee bit of time with this check.
And what we haven't had a chance to speak about was the Craig Gordon save as well from that strike from Johnson. It was a great hit, bottom corner, wasn't it? Great save.
Brilliant save. It's what you would expect from Craig Gordon. He's magnificent, but then had no chance with the one that lashes by him into the net. This is taking a bit of time again. Yeah. This must be tight.
David Dickinson is standing beside Craig Gordon. Craig's got the ball under his arm. And just waiting for a little bit of communication here, which is always the issue when VAR gets involved. And no goal. Offside is the ruling. We saw the flag going up and they were checking it, and they took a fair old while to check it, but the offside is upheld as Josh Ginnelly gets in behind on the right hand side, right at the edge of the box, looking for the overlap of Smith. Michael Smith's cross ball in towards Snodgrass, and it's a really good defensive header away for Ross County. It was Johnson who got his head to it, so he's been effective up at the other end, and that was good defensively from him, winning an important header. Hearts looking to apply some more pressure here with Ginnelly and Smith again combining down the right hand side. Josh Ginnelly has so much talent, but what he has lacked at Hearts is consistency. The ball is funneled back into the centre circle for Sibbick, and now Cochrane, and out to the left hand side Andy Halliday. Back in towards Sibbick, allowed freedom on the ball, and he hits one down the middle, but it's way too long. Shankland was central, but it must have gone about 10 feet over his head and through to Ross Laidlaw.
It's really good defending. You said it yourself, Rob, from Callum Johnson, tucking in that position. He gets his body shape right for the initial Hearts cross that comes into the box, but he's a great athlete. I've noticed that with him. He's come into that right back slot, very good. He can get himself forward, but again, from Malky's point of view, exactly what he wants from his right full back, tucking in beside his centre back, positioning himself well, and he clears the danger well on that occasion.
It'd be fascinating to hear Richard's take on the goal as well. The offside, is it clear? But we'll be stuff is up the far end from us, but it took a bit of time again.
Let's hear from Richard.
Well, I can help you out, yes, because we clearly are getting the replays in here. They're getting sports scene ready. It's Edwards on the far side. Great save, as you say, from Craig Gordon, but from when Johnson strikes it, Edwards, it's fractional. But the red line has come up. He's shown us offside. So as soon as he's offside, of course, they don't even look for the penalty. They're not looking for anything further in the move, so that's why it was ruled out.
Encouraging though for Ross County that they got themselves into that area, and certainly for a split second they thought they'd got their 7th league goal of the season. Premiership goals hard to come by. Danda for County, back to Baldwin and out to Johnson at right back. Hearts pressing, looking to make life difficult for the Dingwall team, who launch it up towards halfway, and Alex Cochrane's header sends the ball out of play just close to us here.
I think Snodgrass and Mackay's asking Snodgrass why he runs into the area. He's 1v1 with the fullback, and Robert goes into that area, making it really cramped for Mackay. You'd want Mackay to show his magic, and Robert Snodgrass just to stay away if he can.
We're talking about Hearts' recent lack of wins. Well, for Ross County, it's 1 in their last 9. It's been a long time between 3-pointers for them. On the ball, Uwura plays it wide to Danda, right hand side, great ball in from Jan Danda. Ross County have the goal this time, and it's bundled in by Jordan White. They've threatened already, and now they've scored. It's only his 2nd goal of the season. Jordan White for Ross County, 1-0 up against Hearts.
Yeah, no more than they deserve, Rob. It's decent play. It goes up towards Jordan White, and just as I spoke about right at the start of the game, they get the 2 players close to him. It's Uwura Edwards is in the area, but more importantly, Jan Danda peels into the wide right position, and he's got all sorts of quality. We've seen it from dead balls, and he swings in a lovely ball into the front area. I don't think Craig Gordon can come for it, and Jordan White just sort of bundles it across the line. So excellent start for Ross County, and a very well worked goal from their point of view.
I'm just wondering I wonder if Jordan White's offside in the initial header. When a Cochrane headers it out, it gets headed back. I wonder if White's offside.
Are you going to quiz every attack from Ross County?
Well, it gets looked at. It's a good finish from White, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
I think it is a goal.
Yeah, the goal given, game back underway, Hearts restart. And Stuart's called it early on, the quality of Jan Danda. I haven't seen too much of Ross County this season. It's been a while for me, but he's got quality. There was real whip on that ball, wasn't there? It was nicely delivered in at the near post.
He comes from real pedigree, coming from Liverpool. He's played some games at Swansea, obviously in the Championship in England. Ross County have to play a slightly different way, Rob, with him in the team, because Ross Callaghan normally occupies that number 10 position, and I think he's excellent. I think he's a big miss, but Jan Danda's that clever player that wants to kind of try and play in the half turn and play off Keogh's shoulder, and unfortunately for Ross County in this early stage, they've managed to get him touches of the ball, so he's had a good impact. As I say, they need to keep trying to service him to create chances in the game.
It's got a good start from Ross County, and you're right, sure, they deserve to be ahead. You know, White will be delighted to get that goal as well.
And it's unusual to see him on only one goal at this stage of the season, because he generally pitches in with a fair few, but maybe sign of the times for Ross County, but he'll have enjoyed that moment. Number 2 for the season for him.
Yeah, I don't think he's a natural goal scorer, and I've always said I think he's very effective. He's a great focal point for others to play around about him. And as I say, I think the most important part is connecting the 3 that play behind him, Rob, making sure they're in position, they're touching distance to get involved in the game. But he takes his goal really, really well. It's that old one where you get a big surface area on top of the ball and make sure you guide it to the target. And he done ever so well.
It's going to be interesting to see what response we get from Hearts on the back of losing an early goal. They've had so many games of late. It's been energy sapping for them, and of course they've been losing player after player through injury. They have to be positive, they have to believe in themselves here, that they can find a way back from it is only 1 down, and it is early on. Foul given against Danda for knocking over Andy Halliday on the halfway line.
Yeah, they're a bit lethargic, Hearts, at the moment. They've not started the game yet. You know, whether it be at the back, you know, they're not. Obviously White is going to be a handful. Danda, as we've just touched on, Wu on the left hand side is very, very quick as well. So you know, it's going to be a hard afternoon for Hearts. It really is, especially with this makeshift back 4.
And that trip to Istanbul coming up for them in the week as well. On the ball, Ginnelly, and alongside him Keogh. Fired down the right side for Connor Smith. He rolls it in for Keogh's shot, blocked, breaks back, out, and it's lashed in.
This will be looked at, Rob.
Yeah, Lawrence Shankland.
They're thinking it's a handball with Kermit Soglu early on, and it'll go all the way back to it as well. You know, but a lovely finish from Shankland. His first effort goes back, hits the defender, and comes back on his left foot, and he lashes it into the bottom corner.
And if it is a goal, it is number 5 in 3 games for him, and number 11 for the season. But we will have one of those deadly delays again. It was a kind of muted celebration, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think players are apprehensive, aren't they? We've seen that in the opening couple of weeks of VAR. But I just felt it was so much better from Hearts. They changed the angle approach. There's been too many straight passes from them. It's been slow, it's been laboured, as Alan mentioned. But in this occasion, Connor Smith takes a lovely touch, just changes the angle, and he shows good composure for the initial pullback. But we know Lawrence Shankland's always going to position himself between the goalposts for anything that comes back out. It's a lovely finish from him.
Am I right in thinking it was Kermit Soglu who had the first shot at goal, and it broke back, and then it was Shankland? Is that right? I think so.
It was great play from Connor Smith to start with.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
Give the young boy all the credit.
Yeah, because he could have just fired that in, couldn't he? He could have just gone for a conventional cross, whereas he rolled it back, pulled it back, and that set up the chance to score.
Been a good start to the game. 16 minutes on the clock, 1-0.
Alan, I think we were here for one of the games of the season last year. You and I were not, 2 each, Ross County Hearts. It was an excellent game, and it's started in a similar fashion.
Rob gave it the kiss of death with a draw at the start.
It is a draw. But will it finish with a share of the points? We shall see. A lively start. Certainly 1-1 already. Shankland replying after Jordan White had opened the scoring for Ross County, and I think that makes Lawrence Shankland now in the Premiership the player directly involved in most goals. I think he was level with Cholak, but that's now 8 goals and a couple of assists for him. So he's been involved in 10 Premiership goals, and he is certainly doing what it says on the tin for him.
He's been brilliant, absolutely magnificent. You know, I thought on Thursday night is the best I've seen him as a striker. He's back to goal, he was holding defenders off, he was linking up, his touch was excellent. And he got his goal early on in the game again today. He's such an important member of Hearts' first team at the moment, especially with Boyce being out long term. Humphreys is out as well, who stretches the game. Shanklin's been excellent. Really good signing.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a big miss for Shanklin, isn't it? Liam Boyce, particularly, his football intelligence around about him, that just creates openings for Shanklin, and it's been difficult at times. He's been ploughing alone Faro at times.
And that's it. I think Robbie touched on it on Thursday. The league's now the priority. They're out of Europe. They go to Turkey on Thursday. It's a nothing game now. Liable to, find it very difficult over there, but this is the bread and butter. If they want to be in Europe again, they've got to win games like this.
Barry Mackay plays an angled ball in from the left-hand side. You know the one, you've seen so many of them, and they've been so productive for Hearts this time. Ross County get it away. Michael Smith fires one forward down the right-hand side. Harmon doing the defending. Hearts keeping the pressure on now. Ginnelly heading out towards the touchline right-hand side. Owura's challenge. And the ball is out for a Hearts throw in. It's Ross County 1, Hearts 1 in Dingwall.
Yeah, Ross County just dropped off the game, Rob. I think we said in the opening few minutes they were really aggressive in their press. They got in the faces of the Hearts players and played 10-15 yards higher up the pitch than what we see them just now. I know you go through stages of the game, but it's so important that those centre-backs force the midfielders higher. Hearts playing it back into their half here. They probably could and should be 10-15 yards higher up the park and not invite the pressure back on top of them.
Since that goal, Hearts have really stepped up. They've been the better side, I think. A bit lethargic at the start of the game. County get the goal, but then Hearts have equalised very quickly. Now it looks like County are fragile.
Ginnelly into the box from the right-hand side, fended away by Jack Baldwin, falling as he cleared. The ball goes out on the far side. I asked the question, what sort of response would there be from Hearts to the opening goal for Ross County? Well, very convincing is the answer to that one, equalising pretty sharply after County had gone in front, and as Al says, since then they have taken charge of the game. And now it's a question of how Ross County are going to respond to having their lead cancelled out early on. A team who've struggled to score goals. In the final third again are Hearts. Ginnelly cuts in onto the left foot. The shot is blocked by Tilson. Hearts come again with Keogh rolling it down the side to Ginnelly. Elusive, and his cross deflected behind, and Hearts will have a corner kick here.
Really good play by Hearts. Ginnelly on the right hand side. He's tricky. You can see it when he's on his game. He's difficult to mark. That's a chance for them to load the box. They're not the biggest side now, Hearts, with so many injuries, but Civic will go up. But it's the quality here from Robert Snodgrass normally throughout his whole career. Wonderful left foot.
Yeah, you kind of know you're going to get a bit of quality from this. It's right hand side for the corner kick. Hearts having levelled things up now, looking to go in front. Snodgrass with a swerving, dipping delivery, and they do go in front.
And
it's Andy Halliday with a header, which I think might have glanced in off the underside of the crossbar. And he's patting his head as he goes across to the technical area to celebrate that goal. He doesn't score too many headers, I think, is the message, but he has nailed this one from the Snodgrass corner kick, and from one down, Hearts are 2-1 in front.
Well, if we say that Ross County deserve to be 1 up, Hearts deserve to be 2-1 up, because they've really, since they've gone that goal behind, they've grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. We said about Robert Snodgrass's quality with his left foot, wonderful ball in, there's a lot of pace on it, and what a brilliant header that is from Andy Halliday off the underside of the bar. He just gets away from his man, and he gets a really good contact on it. It's a brilliant header from him.
So poor, Rob, in terms of the defending. It's an excellent delivery from Snodgrass, but it's middle 6-yard box. Ross County have got a number of players in there. I'm not entirely sure it might be Kincola that's marking Halliday, and he is touch tight. He just doesn't deal with the ball. So from their point of view, great delivery from Hearts, but I think you have to deal with that much better.
Another one, an unsung hero, Andy Halliday. He's played everywhere. I mean, he played in a European game off the front. He's played left back, left wing back, centre midfield. He's been magnificent, honestly. Wherever they play him, you know what you're getting from Andy Halliday, and he pops up with goals.
Yeah, he scored on Thursday, of course, that deflected strike against the Latvian team RFS. And just a few days later, he's on the mark in Dingwall with his head. And Hearts have a 2-1 advantage. And it's been some start to the game. You just wondered what we would get today. Well, it's been lively, to say the least, with County going in front and Hearts replying with a couple of goals of their own. It is Halliday in the middle of the pitch now, looking to make things happen. He was taken out as he looked to work a 1-2. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a yellow card as well for Cancola, I think it is, who's being booked.
Just a bit of frustration creeping in from the Ross County player there. Hearts do ever so well again, little give and go, and he does. I think it is a yellow card. He gets his arms round him and hauls him to the ground, so I think they deserve a yellow card on this occasion.
And maybe just a sign that Ross County are panicking at the moment, sensing that Hearts have got this game by the throat and they're looking to stretch their advantage, Al.
Yeah, you know, it's important for Ross County to hang in here at the moment, because they're very, as you can imagine, they're very fragile. They're not winning games. They've only scored 7 goals this season so far. Fragile team.
Snodgrass just rolls the free kick square to Smith, who's across now on the left hand side. Back for Snodgrass to lift in and up and under, but just ahead of everybody in white. And a comfortable catch for Ross Laidlaw under no pressure whatsoever. He rolls it out to Baldwin, and Tilson takes a clumsy touch, and Shankland was right on top of him, and County again under pressure and really making life difficult for themselves as they played that out from the back. They eventually do get it down the pitch, and Cochrane has a swing and a miss under pressure from White before getting the ball down the touchline to Halliday. County have it though. White it is, looking to link with Danda. Now Johnson right on the touchline right hand side, but Hearts scrapping for it. Mackay involved, down goes Snodgrass, play goes on. Kimertsoglu swings it across the pitch towards Ginnelly, and he gets control of it and rolls the ball back to Michael Smith. Keogh again onto it in the midfield, clumsy challenge from Hewula. Down goes the Hearts midfielder, free kick given and quickly taken. It is Ross County 1, Hearts 2.
He's quite a nice player, Alan. I've not seen much of him. Keogh, he does well in the middle of the park, physical presence, but even that switch of play, and he gets after the ball to go and make himself available for the next pass. He's impressed me so far.
Well, you know, when you have Beningame out, who does a similar job for them, sure, you know, he's out long term. Young Devlin's in there as well, full of energy. But Kimertsoglu just comes in and protects that back four, which is, you know, a back four that's not played together.
Big diagonal from Sibic up towards Andy Halliday, getting down the left hand side. County dealing with the immediate danger, but Hearts are swarming around them when they're in possession. There is no peace being given to the County back line when they're looking to play the ball out. They launch it up towards White. Cochrane did enough, back from Sibic for Craig Gordon to clear, and a head flick on by Snodgrass, and the ball's at the feet of Baldwin. Chested down by Danda for Hewula. Into the centre circle, Cancola alongside him, Iacovitti up towards Owura. Cancola again with a diagonal ball out wide towards George Harman, and the pressure from him was enough on the backtracking Ginnelly, who all he could do was head flick the ball behind County of a corner.
Yeah, Ginnelly done really well to match the run first and foremost, but just better from Ross County in that passage of play, Rob. They managed to connect a few passes. Danda's involved, Owura Edwards is involved, which allows the full-back to get up the park. So they need to try and contain the game in the Hearts half and give themselves a little bit of a breather.
Corner kick for County, left-hand side, George Harman with it, out swinging. Not convincingly dealt with, but the ball is outside the box now, where it is collected by Iacovitti. Back to Tilson, who launches in a high ball, punched away by Craig Gordon, under pressure. Back in it came from Johnson, but he needed more height on it to loft it up over the Hearts goalkeeper, who grabbed it, bowled it out, and now Mackay for Hearts down the right hand side in towards Shankland, cleared by Iacovitti, helped out by Danda. And this game is at the moment swinging very quickly from end to end, and it's Owura on the ball for County, right hand side, facing up to Andy Halliday, looks to go on the outside. Good defending from Halliday, not just scoring the third goal of this game to get Hearts in front, but he's been all over the pitch doing good work in all sorts of areas. It was defensively that time against Owura.
Yeah, Owura's very, very quick. You know, he caused Hearts all sorts of concern in that opening game of the season, Rob.
Yeah. But
really good defending by Andy Halliday. Just times it perfectly. You know, if it's just a race between the two of them, Owura will win, but Halliday's very clever, bides his time.
He really does pour everything into a game, does Andy Halliday, and his goal is the difference at the moment between these two after Lawrence Shankland cancelled out the opener from Jordan White. You're with BBC Sports and BBC Radio Scotland. Second part of our double bill today from the Premiership. Earlier on, Livingston 0, Celtic 3. 4 points is the difference again at the top of the table. Are Hearts going to move up a few places in the Premiership? They will if they can get all 3 points. They're on track here, but Ross County will have other ideas. The ball's at the feet of Michael Smith, and he plays it out wide to Josh Ginnelly. Hearts just calming things down for the moment after a series of attacking flurries, which brought them plenty of reward, with 2 goals to turn this around in the first half in Dingwall. Sibbick right in the middle of the pitch on the ball. Hewula gets close. It's launched down the middle. Shankland is after it. Baldwin goes back and he cushions a header to Laidlaw. Just a moment of concern there as Shankland threatened to get on the end of it. He's already hammered home his 11th goal of the season, and well, you have to watch him like a hawk, because he just loves taking chances, and at the moment he is regularly finding the back of the net. A hat-trick last weekend against Celtic, and one of the goals which beat RFS in Europe on Thursday night. In possession for Hearts, Cochrane. He's another who's shuttled around a fair few different positions. Central defence for him today alongside Toby Sibbick in the absence of Stephen Kingsley. Sibbick to Smith, into the midfield for Snodgrass, and switched across to Alex Cochrane, who can take the ball up towards the halfway line. Plays it to Halliday and back, then into Connor Smith, who takes it in and turns and runs with the ball and jinks inside and looks to make something happen here, just lacking the final ball. Gave it away in a promising situation, having played a big part in the goal which levelled things up here. And he is making his first start, as Alan reliably informed us earlier on. First starts of 2019.
2019, yeah. Played against Hibs and Celtic in 2019. He's done well, Rob, so far. You know, he's involved in that equalising goal. He's played well.
Long ball up for County towards White. Good pressure from Cochrane. The ball breaks back towards Callum Johnson. Hurried it, but Hewula did get his head to it against Michael Smith, and it drops for Hewula in the centre circle, as Ross County look to level this game up if they can, having gone in front early on. But this latest attack for them just fizzles out, and it is the youngster Connor Smith who looks very composed and confident, and he curls a ball out towards the left-hand side for Shankland. Support arriving in the form of Barry Mackay. 5 yards in from the touchline, left-hand side. Rolls it to Snodgrass. Snodgrass just rolls one in along the deck. It was a clever-looking idea from him, but just nobody else was on the same wavelength. He rolls it into the 6-yard box, no takers.
Yeah, very intelligent ball by Robert Snodgrass there. Really good play by Shankland. Again, links up with Mackay into Snodgrass, and he just passes it into an area. Fortunately for Hearts, there's no one there.
He's getting better, Alan. Shankland, I think he's improving every week as a player. I always just looked at him as a goal scorer. You know, managed against him when he played at Ayr, and you just seen goals all the time.
Good ball winning by Callum Johnson for Ross County. Now Jan Danda plays it out to the left-hand side for Owura to Jinkin. Right foot shot low down. Craig Gordon makes a diving save. It was a good effort. It was a quick hit from Owura, and it required a sharp save.
Yeah, again, better from Ross County, being able to turn the ball over, trying to feed Owura. Alan's touched on the fact that it was really bright in that opening game between the sides at the start of the season, but they need to feed him the ball. They need to get the front 4 players more possession of the ball in that final third.
The corner kick from the left-hand side. George Harman delivers, and the flashing header at the near post from Jordan White was never threatening the goal, always too high from the man who bundled in the opening goal of the game.
It's been an excellent game, Rob, so far. 32 minutes on the clock. What a little bit of everything, really. County have started the game really well, got their goal deservedly so, then Hearts back into it, and then they deserve to be 2-1 up. And County in the last 4 or 5 minutes just coming back into it.
The ball with Cochrane at the edge of the Hearts penalty box, and doesn't get the delivery downfield he was looking for. It flies out of play, just not too far from us. Just looking at the Hearts bench, quite a few youngsters in there to make up the numbers. Aaron Darge 19, Aidan Denham 18, Finlay Pollock 18, Lewis Nielsen of course is 19.
Yeah, and 2 keepers as well.
Yep,
because they're running out of bodies, and Finlay Pollock just signed a new 3-year deal last week.
Header away by Michael Smith in defence for Hearts. Goes out for the throw-in on the far side. You're with BBC Radio Scotland, and it is Ross County 1, Hearts 2. And Hearts would move above Livingston, St Johnstone and Motherwell if they can win this one, and they would be just a couple of points behind Aberdeen and St Mirren. So the complexion would change pretty dramatically for Hearts if they can get the win they so badly want here. But Jan Danda picks up a bit of space in between the lines and now looks to roll it out wide for Johnson. Back with County's number 10, Danda, gliding on the ball onto his left foot, lofted cross in, headed away by Michael Smith. Back in from Harman. It's Jordan White with his back to goal. It's a great turn from him, and he gets the shot away on the half volley. He didn't get enough power behind it. It was a comfortable save in the end for Craig Gordon, but it was a good try from White. And now comes the response as Hearts get down the pitch with Barry Mackay. Left hand side, it's a nutmeg on Baldwin to get the ball into the area for Shankland, and it's well defended by Iacoviti. Did really well, and he now charges out, but he's surrounded by white shirts as Hearts try to win it back and do. Ginnelly rolls it in from the right to Snodgrass, right in the middle of the pitch. The challenge from Awuda, wins it for Ross County, and then he plays a pass to well, the invisible man, because there was nobody there for Ross County, and he's handed possession back, having done all the tough stuff to win it in the middle of the midfield. Hearts back in possession, and this game certainly has the ability, and it's done it regularly since kickoff, of swinging from one end to the other.
It's a really good chance for Jordan White. The Cibic's got to do better in the defensive.
Here's Shankland, slips one in for Ginnelly, but it was behind Josh Ginnelly, and he tried to adjust and he couldn't get there. It was clever play again from Hearts in the final third, but the final touch just didn't quite come off.
No, it was a good piece of play. This the final ball to Ginnelly just over him. Just touching on that chance for Jordan White. Cibic's got him, he's facing away from the goal, but the striker turns quickly and gets a shot away. You could see Robbie having a go at Cibic. He's got to make sure when he turns, he's the one there that's winning the ball.
Yeah.
Just the initial stage of it, Alan, it's the fullback Harman that passes it into Danda in that number 10 position. I've said it a couple of times already, but Ross County have to be braver in possession to go and try and find that sort of link player. It's too often maybe thinking about just being safe and going up towards Jordan White. I think they have to be cuter and cleverer in terms of how they pass the ball into the Hearts half, and I think that's where the original opportunity comes from, because they can get Danda in possession of the ball safely.
Hearts are unbeaten in 9 in Dingwall, 5 of those have been draws, and looking to stretch that unbeaten run here to double figures, and they do have the noses in front, but you wouldn't be counting any chickens at this stage. Iacoviti to Johnson for the home team. Danda plays it back, Tilson on the halfway line. It's a loose pass, and it just gets Iacoviti scurrying back towards his own penalty box to play it for Laidlaw, and now out to Kankola, wearing number 4 for Ross County, crossing the halfway line. Harman to his left, and at the moment Ross County is just happy to keep possession of the ball. They work it into the back line again for Iacoviti. Danda makes himself available, back it goes to Baldwin, and for Jan Danda again, who lifts one, or tries to, over the top of Cochrane. Cochrane heading it away for Hearts. Then it was Tilson, then it was Halliday with a couple of headers, and the ball at the feet of Iacoviti again. County looking to get possession, looking to get some control in the game, looking to find a way to equalise, having been ahead in the game and now 2-1 down.
Rob, Ross County have made a wee tactical change just looking at it just now. Jordi Huula, who was occupying the right side, is now playing centrally. Jan Danda started to drop back the pitch, so the width for Ross County is coming from Johnson just as they service him now, and he's a great area. Yeah,
you called it there. Huula to Johnson on the overlap right hand side, great ball in towards White, and really good defending from Cochrane to get there first. Here come County again with Johnson and Danda. Callum Johnson right on the touchline, right hand side, rolled in field for Tilson this time. Danda, the man who looks most likely to find a way here for Ross County, very creative. It's Harman, left hand side, just about 30 yards from goal, now in the middle of the pitch, and he rolls it back to Jordan Tilson again, down the right hand side with Johnson, the fullback. Danda, first time to Tilson. Lots of passing, lots of movement, but no penetration as yet, and it goes back to halfway for Jack Baldwin and Iacoviti alongside him. Awura looking to make some progress down the left, good challenge, Michael Smith to win it, and then it's Kankola onto the loose ball for Ross County. Looking to find a way here. Harmon again on the left-hand side. Andawura on his right boot, and his cross ball, the minute he struck it, you knew there was far too much on it, and it swerves and swings and bounces behind for a goal kick way beyond the Hearts goal.
I think Hearts just need to take their time now, just to compose themselves a little bit. County for a bit of the ball there for a number of minutes, and there's a check being played, obviously.
I think there was a contact in the edge of the box with Danda, but again, I don't think there was anything in it at all. I think it was just a coming together with two players.
Yeah, I saw him complaining about it, certainly, but it didn't look as if it was anything of any great import. Ross County 1, Hearts 2. A lot to like about this game so far, and here come the Dingwall team, looking to force the issue again. Harmon makes a positive run, rolled inside by Awura. It's Jan Danda with a shot at goal, and it cannons off a Hearts head on its way over the top for a corner kick, and he's certainly been good to watch so far as Ross County's number 10.
The whole thing's been excellent, Rob. The game's been excellent, but I just think, again, he's the key player. He's the one that stood out. He's the one that looks most likely to play that creative pass, or even in that instance there when he finds half a yard of space to get the shot away. Good defending from Cochrane, I think it is, that gets a block in from a Hearts point of view, but Ross County need to keep getting Danda touches of the ball.
Another County corner. Can they get some joy from this one? Danda fires it in low this time, found its way to Awura, but didn't really have much time to react at all, and Hearts get it clear. And down the pitch it's kept alive by Ross Laidlaw, and he's going to fire one forward looking for Awura. Cochrane watched it all the way, good defending from him, and his header finds Halliday, and Danda breathing down his neck up towards Mackay. The layoff releases Connor Smith, who drives forward over the halfway line. Cancola with a challenge, but the pass still finds its way through to Ginnelly. For Hearts out on the right hand side, he jinks his way in, and then hits a cross ball very similar to Awura's moments ago. The minute he struck it, you knew there was far too much on it, and it's gone way behind for a goal kick. County 1, Hearts 2.
That's a wonderful touch from Barry Mackay in that move. It's played up to him, it's fizzed up to him actually. Lovely little first touch, and the Hearts go out the other side, Connor Smith into Ginnelly. But you're right, Rob, his cross far too heavy, just bounces out. But it's been a really good opening 40 minutes so far, 3 goals. I don't think we're finished with the goals yet.
Another big Hearts away support. Almost doesn't need mention because you just expect it, but it's been an expensive season to be a Hearts fan, hasn't it? Travelling here, there and everywhere.
Yeah, Florence, I think there's 5,000 in Florence, I believe.
Yeah, there were. Awura for Ross County, coming in off the left-hand side, but his final ball is really poor, straight at Halliday, and that brings any optimism for County to an end. They trail here by 2-1. Snodgrass for Hearts, lovely pass, perfect, as was the control from Shankland. Coming in off the left-hand side, the overlap is coming here from Barry Mackay. Shankland takes the shot on, it was blocked. There were muffled shouts for a penalty. Play goes on, and White lays the ball off towards Awura for Ross County as the game again heads down in the opposite direction. But Awura was thinking too many moves ahead, and he took his eye off the ball, and now Snodgrass tries to set up Shankland again with a ball from the central midfield. Kept out this time, and Jan Danda looks to orchestrate again for Ross County, but his pass is straight at Mackay, who now gets it back from Connor Smith. Barry Mackay hugging the touchline almost literally down the left-hand side, and rolls a pass infield to the hugely experienced Snodgrass. Then it's Ginnelly who gets his pass away at the second attempt, and it will stick for Smith, who's on the byline. Michael Smith's cut back, fired in, blocked, cleared by County, out for a throw in far side.
It's a lovely run as well by, I think it was it Kermit Soglu, pulls out looking for the cutback, but Michael Smith tries to smash it across.
Can't believe how stretched the game is, Alan. Every single time the ball's turned over, the distance between the deepest defender to the striker, it's massive. Both teams having a real go. I think there's a few Hearts players probably breathing a little bit here, Rob. I think they could be doing with just keeping possession, staying on the ball and giving themselves that wee bit of respite. I
was looking at one or two County players as well, looking to refill their lungs as well. It's been that sort of breathless first half, and hugely enjoyable as well. Here's Snodgrass, it's all opening up for him. Thought he might take the shot on, but he slipped a pass through instead to Shankland. Those two are linking up very effectively for Hearts. Here comes Josh Ginnelly, who fires one in. It was blocked by Shankland, who just for a moment thought he might be able to spin and get a shot away there. Just got away from him in the end. But he's a striker on hot form at the moment, and he's scored his 11th of the season today.
I'll tell you, if he controls that, it's one of the touches of the season. It's fizzed in from Ginnelly, but again, that striker, that natural instinct inside the box, he almost gets it under control to swivel and hit it. A little bit unfortunate, I would say, in the end.
He's a man in form, Rob, but I'm telling you now, he'll want to go if he gets included in the Scotland squad, but I'm sure Robbie wouldn't want him to go. I think he needs a rest.
Yeah. But when you're scoring goals, you don't really want a rest, do you?
Yeah, but when you're one of the only strikers at the club that's fit.
I know. The manager might have something to say about it.
I think he deserves it. I think he would.
Yeah.
He's been magnificent since he's come to Hearts.
Yeah, he's clever. And he's scoring goals for fun at the moment. 5 in 8 days, and there's still time for him to improve on that stat as Sibbick steps forward and rolls the ball out wide to Ginnelly. Continuing his run, Toby Sibbick. He's an auxiliary winger at the moment, and he rolls it inside. Shankland takes a touch. Just got away from him in the end, Lawrence Shankland, as Baldwin made the challenge, and the ball pings behind off Shankland in the end for a county goal kick.
It's outstanding from Sibbick, stepping out for the centre-back position, creating that overload on the right-hand side. He does ever so well, but it's Jack Baldwin for Ross County that reads the danger, gets himself across and does just enough for the ball to fall back into the arms of Ross Laidlaw.
Down goes Johnson, free kick Ross County. Well, it wasn't competitive earlier on when Celtic cruised it against Livingston at Ammanville 3-0. But this game certainly is competitive. You wouldn't really be making too many assumptions at this stage, even though Hearts lead by 2-1. County are still very much in it as a free kick goes against Owura for his challenge on Snodgrass.
Just body position from Snodgrass here. You can see the player running in, and he just puts his body in line and positioning off it, and he's fouled. I think he's played really well, Robert Snodgrass.
Yeah, he's classy, isn't he?
Some of the balls he's played a brilliant pass over the top to I think it was Shankland.
And he controlled it really well too. Yeah, they seem to be on the same wavelength, those two.
Just on a side note, Rob, I'm desperate to see this foot race on the right-hand side for Hearts with Ginnelly and Owura Edwards. Probably two of the quickest players, and it's threatened a couple of times and it's just broke down, but really interesting battle between those two for Ross County on the left, Hearts on the right-hand side.
We'll send your request down. We'll see if we can make that happen. Yeah. BBC Radio Scotland, Ross County 1, Hearts 2, and the ball is with Baldwin, who plays it up to Jordi Hawula, collected nicely and rolled into the centre circle for Jan Danda. Good feet from him as well, weaving his way out wide. 2 minutes being added to the first 45. Johnson on the overlap, rolls it back out for Danda, fired in, really dangerous and difficult ball to defend, and it ends up across on the left hand side. Back in from Harman, and another of those glancing headers near post. Jordan Tilson was getting into the danger zone. It goes wide of target.
I just wonder if he can do better there. It's a good delivery from the left hand side. Harman swings it in with his left foot. I think Jordan Tilson actually finds himself completely free inside the area, just towards that front post. And I think he gets it maybe too full of contact, Rob. Maybe just that glancing header gives Craig Gordon a bigger issue, but he does well for the sitting midfield position to arrive inside the penalty area as he did.
I don't know if he's one of his own men should get in his way, and it's not really you're right, he could do better, but I think one of his players just runs across him.
We're inside stoppage time at the end of the first half in Easter Ross, and we certainly can't complain about first half entertainment. It's been a great game, and the outcome is still very much in doubt, but Hearts will be delighted, having gone a goal behind early on, that they've turned it around and threatened to go further in front as well, since they did make it 2-1.
It's been an enjoyable game. Sunday afternoon, weather's fine as well.
What would you rather be doing, Al, than this? Among friends as well.
Exactly. If you pushed a wee game of golfing this morning, it would have helped.
Yes.
Whistle stop tour of Castle Stewart, Alan, is that what
would
we're
have been
saying?
brilliant. The next time you can sort that.
Cochrane on halfway for Hearts to Andy Halliday, scorer of the game's goal number 3. And the ball goes out for a throw-in just underneath us. And there might be time for this, but not too much more. David Dickinson looking at his watch, and in fact he does bring the first half to a close. Well, it's been top entertainment really right from the start here. Both teams having a go. The game has swung regularly from end to end, and I think both sets of players will be pretty happy to have a little seat at this point in a darkened room and get themselves ready for another breathless 45, which could well be on the cards the way it has gone so far. County ahead early on as the ball was whipped in from the right hand side. Jordan White bundling in the opening goal of the game. The lead didn't last for too long, and it was Hearts man of the moment, Lawrence Shankland, who equalised. Connor Smith involved in the build-up, the youngster making his first start in a few years, and he rolled the ball back. I think it was Kimot Soglu's shot which was blocked initially, but when it broke back out it was immediately hammered home via the left foot of Shankland for his 11th goal of the season, and number 5 in the space of 3 games for him. And Hearts turned the game completely around when Robert Snodgrass' corner wasn't defended well by Ross County at all. They switched off, and Andy Halliday switched on, and his header glanced in off the underside of the crossbar, and he was very delighted, judging by his celebration, that he scored a goal with his head, having had that deflected strike in Europe on Thursday. He has scored the goal here in Dingwall, which gives us a half-time scoreline of Ross County 1, Hearts 2.
On digital radio,
online at BBC Sport Scotland,
or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
This is Sport Sound,
where Scottish football lives.
What a goal!
This Halloween, Rab Florence explores one of Scotland's most haunted places.
I've got a feeling I think I know where we might be.
Only Rab has no idea where he's going until he arrives blindfolded at the stage door.
I'd heard a lot of stories about the Panopticon, an old music hall hidden away above an amusement arcade in Glasgow city centre.
I do believe there's a possibility that Solomon is in this building because things do go missing.
And that's another of the supposed ghostly noises, the sound of children laughing.
Rab Florence is on a ghost hunt.
Hello. Come on, you.
Tomorrow from 11:30 in the morning and again from 9:30 at night on BBC Radio Scotland.
Where right now you're listening to Sports Sounds with me, Richard Gordon. Earlier, Livingston 0, Celtic 3, Kyogo, Taylor, Jota, all on target. Giakoumakis had a penalty, or a failure from a penalty spot. He hit the post, but it was comfortable for Celtic, and they have re-established a 4-point advantage at the top of the table, all going Hearts' way after a blistering start from County, quite apart from the goals that have been scored. Hewula having an excellent strike ruled out right at the start of the game. His teammate Edwards deemed to have been, and it was marginal, but the red line was there, marginally offside, after a wonderful effort from Johnson was saved by Craig Gordon. From the point, though, that County took the lead and then Hearts came back into it very quickly, there have been quite a few opportunities, got to say, and plenty opportunities for County to get back on level terms. Some saves from Craig Gordon. It has indeed been a very lively opening 45 minutes. Hearts deserving, Stuart, of the advantage at this stage?
I think with a reaction, Richard, yes, I would have to say that they started slow, didn't they? A little bit of hangover for the European game on Thursday night in the opening sort of 10 minutes or so, but you know, once Ross County scored that goal, it did sort of kick Hearts into action, and I think that they've probably just shaded it in terms of that control of the ball. They worked their 2 goals well. First one, obviously, Shankland takes it exceptionally well, and then they get the second one from the set play. But Ross County have had their moments in this as well. You know, as I said, in the opening stages, very good. Any time, I've said it a couple of times in commentary, any time they can get Jan Danda in possession, Awura Edwards down the left-hand side, and they have to be brave in those situations to hang in a game. I watched them here against Hibs, and they probably pushed too much for the game at a stage where they found themselves 1 goal down, and I've kind of been watching for that here to see whether they overcommit, but they've been okay in the game. They have been okay in the game. A little frustration, as I say, with the defensive side of things, but they have offered something at times going forward. Jordan White looks a handful any time he peels onto Cochrane in that left centre-back position. and as I say, the 1v1 down the left-hand side and activating key players in the game. The one that can probably do better for Ross County in the forward areas for me is Hawula. We know he had that effort chopped off. It was a wonderful strike, but they're definitely in a game of football. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, Richard. It's been excellent entertainment from both teams. They've both added to what's been a good opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, I heard Rob saying that he's not seen an awful lot of Jan Danda because he hadn't seen an awful lot of County this season. You don't actually need to have watched County very often to have not seen a lot of Jan Danda. It was just a fourth start. He's been used sparingly, and yet he seems to have been involved in, certainly down that right-hand side, virtually everything that County have constructed. Yeah,
he's drifting into that right position. He's drifting over there from the central sort of number 10 slot, if you like, but he's not had much game time. I think you have to play a different way when you've got somebody like him in your team. I'm hazarding a guess here that he's one of the marquee signings for Ross County, Richard, when he came up. So. You look at his background, and I think it was 50 games or so he'd played for Swansea.
Yes,
so
it was.
He's obviously played at a real good level, but for one reason or another, he's not found himself in the starting lineup. I don't know whether that's to do with how he goes about his business during the week. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. But the one thing I can tell you is, if you're brave enough to pass it through lines and you have a player like him in your team, you're going to create opportunities, and I think that's what the message will be from Malky at half time, is to service him with the ball, and their mix up to that can be the pace of Lura Edwards to stretch it in behind, or the physical presence, as I mentioned, of Jordan White to take it in, pin it and get Danda into the game.
It was a superb cross from Danda that Jordan White bundled in, I think with his knee or his thigh, to give Ross County the advantage. But as Stuart said, fair play to Hearts. My goodness, they've come right back into it. They equalised very quickly. It was actually Shankland who had both shots. His first shot was blocked, and then so he just played a 1-2 off the defender, Alan, and then smashed into the bottom corner. I'm not quite sure. Did you guys? I mean, clearly every goal is checked, but did you feel there might have been a handball further early in the move? Because I didn't see anything.
County were asking. They ran to the referee. Right, they ran to the referee and they're pointing to the hand because they thought that, I think Kermit Soglu was the one that may have struck his hand at the very start of the move. Yeah. But you know, they were over at the referee straight away, and the referee, you could see them. It will be checked, as all goals are checked. But I think it's been a really good response. The Hearts started slow, Richard. Yep. And then they got that shot in the arm going to go down. But since then, I think they've been excellent. Snodgrass, young Connor Smith's done well. Kermit Soglu in the middle of the park. Michael Smith's got forward. Janelli's been in the game. Mackay. And I think, again, Shankland's been showing his class.
Interesting Shankland, because he's 27 now, Lawrence. That is just his 16th goal at the top level of Scottish football. I mean, he got 8 for United the season with them. Then he was away, of course. Then he's come back. He's got 8 already this season. So he's matched his best ever tally in a top flight in Scottish football, because he's played largely most of his career, certainly in terms of when he's been playing and scoring, in the Championship. But he is very much a Premiership player. Alan, you'll remember back in the Open All Mics days when he was at Dundee United, when he was down in the Championship, banging all the goals in and
Here United.
There was, yeah. There were. Well, I was going to say there were those of us who were calling for him to get the call up to the international side when he was down there. I totally agree with what you guys were saying in the first half. I was actually surprised he didn't get the call up last time round, I must admit. But the way he is playing right now, the goals he is scoring, the confidence he clearly has, it's got to be part of that national squad.
You would think so. We're not littered with strikers in really good goal scoring form at the moment. And I think his games came on, I really do. I think his link-up play, his back to goal, he's holding defenders off. He sees the people running at him as well when he's got the ball at his feet, and he's finishing. You rightly said, he hits the first one, it comes back to him, and then he lashes in the second one with his left foot. Really good. And his goal on Thursday, he makes a really good run behind the defender and knocks it in. I think he's getting better with age, he's maturing. And he knows that there's a big responsibility for him in that Hearts team because of the lack of strikers, because Boyce is injured and Humphreys is injured at the moment. So, long may it continue. He's in really good form, and the Scotland thing would be wonderful for him. But I'm sure Robbie would be like, no, not another one. That could maybe go away. But if he certainly deserves it, Richard. As far as I'm concerned, I think his form's been excellent.
And if Shankland's goal was well taken and well struck, one of the headers of the season actually from Andy Halliday.
And the pace is on the ball from Robert Snodgrass. He puts it right on the money. But you're right, it's a great header from Andy Halliday. Scores really crucial goals. Andy, another one the other evening there, one today as well, and it's some header. See, when you see it off the underside of the bar, he gets a lot of power on it. It gives the keeper absolutely no chance, and the pace is on the ball from Snodgrass in the first place, but he directs it at goal wonderfully well.
He actually has to kind of twist his body back, and there's it's not even like he's just allowed it to hit his head. There is a very definite movement of the head. So he adds, I suppose, to the power in that respect. And there is always something special about a goal that goes in off the underside of the bar, isn't it?
It looks great, doesn't it? Really, as long as it goes in. You don't want one that comes like that World Cup one that England scored that doesn't go in. The one that hits the bar.
Yeah, it was never in, was it, that one?
never in my lifetime, anyway. Lampard's either, was it? And I'm talking about the one in '66.
Right,
that's not in either.
Lampard's,
Neither's Lampard's. That's not in either. As far as, but if you look at the history books, that's certainly no one Lampard's one.
I love how you managed to turn it round to England's failings, if you like.
Come on, Richard. We've all got 31 teams to support in a couple of weeks.
Aye, I could completely forgot there was a World Cup. I've got enough on my mind right now. And not all football stops because of the World Cup, let me tell you. There's plenty of football to enjoy.
There's 4 games a day, Richard. 10 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, 7 at night.
Wow.
4 games a day.
Know that you've been studying that?
No, not at all, honestly.
Only used to be 3.
That's 4 now, because they're trying to cram it into a shorter period of time.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, I look forward to that then. On the occasional days when I might actually get to watch it. Well, that's to look forward to. And I think we're all looking forward to the second half as well, because we said at half-time in the Livy Celtic game, well, Celtic were cruising it and were certainly deserving of the lead. It had not been a thrilling, entertaining 45-minute spectacle. This has been really enjoyable, actually, and it certainly wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility for County to come back into this one, Stuart.
No, as I say, they've shown enough in the first half, Richard, to suggest that they can create chances and be a threat to Hearts. I think credit to both sides. There's been so much energy to the game. There's been a great commitment to it. There's been bits of special quality. You guys are touching on the header for Halliday, which is just unbelievable technique. I sort of questioned it, Richard. You've seen a replay of it. I wondered if Ross County can defend it better. I don't want to take anything away for the delivery and the header, but there's been so much to like about the game, and I don't want to jinx it, but everything that we've seen in the first half would suggest that we're in for more of the same. The only aspect that I would look at is the potential of Hearts maybe beginning to tire. We could see both sets of players for little periods in the first half starting to breathe, and a few had their hands in their heads, trying to fill up the lungs with air. So they have put a lot into the first 45. That would be a bit, again, as a message from Malcolm Mackay, do you go and try and take Hearts into the depths of the last 15 minutes or so with the amount of games they've had, with the injuries that they've got, and he might be looking at his bench and amongst that as well to see if he can freshen it up and pose them a few more problems.
Incidentally, in the SWPL in League One, Aberdeen, well, with a much-needed win against Glasgow Women, their first of the season. Nadine Hansen, Jess Broderick with the goals, 2-0 for Aberdeen against Glasgow. It was Spartans 1, Hamilton 2. Hamilton coming from behind in that one. Hearts are 1-0 up, approaching half-time against Motherwell. 4 o'clock, Hibernian against Partick Thistle. Then, also at 4, Rangers against Dundee United. That's live at the BBC Sports Scotland website, also on the iPlayer. And at 4:10, Glasgow City against Celtic, which is live on BBC Alapa. Top of the table right now. And Rangers clearly going as firm favourites to beat Dundee United. And then the other two are going head-to-head. The 3 of them have played 8 games each. They've won them all. Celtic women, their goals are 43-0. Rangers 42-0. And Glasgow 34-1, which in itself is pretty impressive after 8 games. But they're trailing a bit in terms of the goals scored.
We think the men are conceding goals.
It's very, very tight up at the top there. But Rangers obviously knowing that something has to give in the game between Celtic and Glasgow City. So those matches live through the BBC. In SWPL 2 this afternoon, I saw a couple of the scores coming through. Gartcairn 2, Queen's Park 1. St Johnstone 1, East 5-1. That's also a full-time scoreline. Full details at the website bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. So it is 2-1 for Hearts at half-time. The players will be back out any minute, I would think. There wasn't an awful lot of stoppage time, but County desperately looking to get back into it, because as things stand, they are going bottom of the table this evening. Hearts, meantime, would be leapfrogging Livingston, St Johnstone and Motherwell up into the top half of the table. That's how tight it is in that little section. Hearts would also be within touching distance of certainly St Mirren and Aberdeen, and indeed Hibs, who are in 3rd place right now. That 3rd position has swapped around a fair bit in recent weeks. And Hearts will more than certainly be eyeing it up. A little bit to go yet. And of course, they've got to see this one out, and that will presumably not be easy. Seen that in the opening 45, how competitive it has been. Highlights, remember, tonight, BBC Scotland channel. You'll see them at 7:15, extended highlights of this game, and indeed Celtic's win against Livingston. They'll also touch on those 4 matches from yesterday in the Premiership. Right now, let's get back to live second half commentary from Dingwall with Alan Preston, Stuart Kettlewell and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Richard, and nobody in the Sports Scene Edit Suite is going to be complaining too much about the first 45 minutes of this one. My only concern is Stuart Kettlewell saying, yeah, I think we're in for same again in the second half. Oh no, don't say that. But yeah, hopefully this match does continue in the same vein. Ross County will be hopeful that they can get the match levelled up again. The view on the other side, of course, will be that Hearts want to score at least one more and take it beyond Ross County and ensure that they're going to get themselves back in the top 6 in the Premiership by the time this weekend's programme is concluded. Wins yesterday for Rangers and Hibs, Motherwell and St Johnstone, and earlier on today for Celtic at Livingston by 3-0. All pretty comfortable for them. Underway second half in Dingwall. Ross County looking to do something about a 2-1 deficit. And let's hope Stuart Young killed the second half by those optimistic utterings during half-time.
I'm confident, Rob. I'm confident we'll get more of the same.
You believe, I like that. Cancola with a quick throw for Ross County, left-hand side, gets it back from Jordan White. Speeding towards the corner flag is Awura. Rolls it back inside. Cancola first time to Jan Danda. Lovely football from Ross County. Can they find some end product? Tilson now to Harmon. Pinging the ball around Ross County. Looking to make a statement right at the start of the second half. Johnson, Callum Johnson, stepping in off the right-hand side. Well, it's been some great build-up here if they can score here, County. It was Jordi Awula in the end who had an angled shot that was blocked. And here they come again, the home team, looking like men on a mission. Almost through Awula, good challenge to stop him, and then as the ball broke free at the edge of the area, White was late on Cochrane, and that allows Hearts to breathe because Ross County were coming at them in serious fashion there.
Yeah, some really good football. It started down the left-hand side, combination between Cancola and Danda. It shifts across to the right-hand side. They do show good patience, and I just thought for a wee second there, it opens up for Awula, comes in his left foot, but again, good defensive work from Hearts, but some really neat playing. Started the second half, Ross County, the way they did the first half, Rob.
Yeah, it was lively from them at that point. Same again. They need to maintain it. And well, you do wonder about Hearts, I suppose, so many games, and the amount that they poured into that one at Tynecastle on Thursday night. I was thinking, well, they're obviously thin on the bench in terms of a few youngsters, but in saying that, there are players like George Grant and Alan Forrest and Ewan Henderson that they can pitch into the game.
Yeah, but Grant's not been well, Rob. The team arrived last night and he came up himself this morning. He wasn't well overnight, so he's in case of emergency, I would say. But certainly Forrest, Lewis Nielsen as well has done really well for a young lad. But I mean, it's 9 starters from Thursday night, so I think Stuart's right. If Ross County can get the pace of the game up, they might take Hearts into somewhere where they might not want to be, because there will certainly be tired legs there. But as they've been remarkable so far, they really have. I think that they've played well. They're looking sharp, Hearts, and fit.
And it's a big incentive to win, and they're on track. Barry Mackay making a good run down the left-hand side, finally halted by Baldwin's challenge. Hearts still have it though, with Kimot Soglu into the box looking for Shankland. It's a scramble, and in the end Iacovitti gets the ball away for Ross County. They know they can't really afford to be conceding again, the home team, because it would be a long way back from 2 goals behind. At the moment they feel they're still in with a chance of getting at least something out of this game, and moving clear of bottom rather than slipping into bottom spot on goal difference, as would be the case the way things stand. Level on points with Dundee United on 9. Cochrane back to Craig Gordon. He's made his usual quota of sharp saves. Nothing spectacular for him so far, but a couple of good stops from him. Sibbick with a long ball downfield, and Kematsoglu sneaking in behind the back line before Ross County did get it clear up to halfway. Sibbick wins a header, and again, and he nods it down to Ginnelly this time. Keogh threads it through. Connor Smith almost getting into the penalty box. Sliding in was Iacovitti. Mackay to Halliday on the byline, whips it into the 6-yard box, and Ross County get it clear. First serious threat in the second half from Hearts.
Yeah, it's really noticeable, Alan. Keogh, his movement from, he plays as that 6, but he's more than happy to run forward, and it's really clever. I love that rotation they have in the middle of the park, because Snodgrass just tucks round, and that's where it starts for Hearts on this occasion. He poses a problem by his forward movement, and again, you have those forward-thinking players, Smith, Shanklin, all involved. So again, exactly as what we've seen in the first half. Ross County started well, but it's been an excellent response from Hearts in the last minute or so.
And you've got to say it's good coaching, because when one goes, one stays. You know, it's perfect.
It's something I'm big on, Alan. I think we always highlight people as being a number 6 and they don't move from that area, but I think going back years we always look at midfielders that can do a little bit of everything, and Keogh certainly looks to me as one that can do both the defensive side and thinking about trying to get himself into forward areas.
Danda in a tight situation threads a pass through to Owura. He gives it away. Well, Owura's the sort of guy I think that would do your head in at times. So talented, but so often he switches off. Danda with a shot from 25 yards blocked by Cochrane. County come again with Harmon finding Owura out in the touchline left hand side, spinning inside and out, and then rolls it infield to Cancola. Good pass. Alongside him is Danda. Back it goes to Jack Baldwin on the halfway line, and he angles a pass out wide again to Harmon for Owura down the touchline. Michael Smith right at his back. Lovely ball chipped inside by Owura. Harmon into the box left hand side, and he just loses his composure at the key moment. There were 3 targets in the box. He just blazed it across goal, and that was not finding anybody.
It's Ginnelly switching off. Really good play by Ross County, it really is. They go forward, but Ginnelly switches off. His man plays a lovely one too. He's ball watching, and he's away, and he whips it across. No takers there. Right away, Robbie's right out at Josh Ginnelly there.
I think Harmon's got more time than he expects as well. He sort of panics a little bit, and it's not a terrible ball, there's a lot of pace on it. I think he's actually got a wee bit of time just to show a little bit more composure and pick somebody out. Jordan White in that central area. Yeah,
I mean, there were 3 he could have picked out. Here come Ross County again. They're coming back at Hearts here with a vengeance. 2-1 down at half time. Geordie Hawula coming in off the right side, looked to set up Cancola, got away from him. Harmon did get on the end of it. It's a good spell this from the home team. They'll feel they want to get a reward out of it. Harmon's pass intercepted by Michael Smith. Danda was static, Smith wasn't, and he won it for Hearts. And now he plays a nice ball down the line towards Ginnelly, and Harmon at full stretch gets it out for the throw.
Yeah, almost there. Really a good ball by Smith, it just cut out by Harmon. Good defending from the Ross County player. I think it's one of them with Ginnelly. Robbie's now got him on his side. He's got to keep him going. You know, he's within yards of the manager. Robbie has to keep in his ear because he switched off there.
Yeah, well, he's not going to escape him this half. He was well away from him first half, but he's at close quarters this time. One of these really talented players as well. If you can get everything out of him, that's the question. Back on halfway, Cochrane for Hearts to Snodgrass. Not in the European squad, of course, Robert Snodgrass, but back in for the domestic games, and so much experience, so much talent right in the middle of the pitch for Hearts, occupying a deep-lying midfield role, and he's so creative. Out from Craig Gordon to Alex Cochrane, played up for Shanklin to lay it off. The next pass intended for Connor Smith, but it was Iacovitti who got there first for Ross County, and the ball goes out on the far side for a throw. Scoreline as it was at half-time, County 1, Hearts 2.
I think that's the thing for Hearts, with having the likes of Cochrane in there, who is naturally going a forward-thinking player. He can step out from the back and play passes into the midfield and get forward. I think he's done really well. Young lad, playing out of position.
Yeah, he's 22, isn't he, on loan from Brighton initially, and now permanent arrangement, and he could be some player if he continues his progress, and he's certainly filled a few positions for Hearts. Owura wins a little tussle in the midfield, manages to shake off the challenge, and now he's making progress down the right-hand side. Little spin to find some room and some time. What does he do from here? Squares it to Jordan White. Back it goes to Kankula. Out on the left is George Harman. Fired back in again. David Kankula to Yandanda, just dropping off, finding some room, flighted in by Yandanda. It was a lovely little delivery, but nobody had made the move into that area beyond the far post, which was where the ball dropped.
Yeah, it's really good play from him again. He just peels off the midfielder and gets himself in that little inside channel in a pocket of space. You can argue that it's not the greatest pass in the world, but yeah. I think you're right, Rob. I think Ross County have to commit to that area. When he's receiving ball there, you're looking for the likes of Edwards, maybe even the overlap of Harman, just to be entering the Hearts penalty area.
Andy Halliday's gone down now as well.
Hearts need another injury like a hole in the head. Ross County are going to make a change. Their first of the match, and it's going to be Victor Laturi coming on for them. We'll find out shortly who's coming off.
I wonder if it'll be Kankula. He's on that yellow card, isn't he, Rob? He picked up the yellow card in the first half, and Laturi, I think, is that sitting midfield player that will just be a like-for-like replacement.
Certainly no flurry of activity on the Hearts bench at the moment, so the thinking must be that Andy Halliday is going to be okay. He tends to be able to run through a brick wall, doesn't he, Andy Halliday?
Yeah, he does really well. He's fit more times than not. He picked up that injury at Pittodrie a few weeks back, and I thought, oh, that looked a dull one, but he managed to get out the next game again.
Stuart Kettle will spot on again. It was David Kankula going off.
Better not make a habit, this, Rob.
You just keep on calling them, don't you? Ross County 1, Hearts 2. Andy Halliday back on his feet. And we're just about ready to go again. Goal kick. Mentioned that Hearts support, Al. We just take it for granted, don't we? But it's another magnificent turnout from the Hearts fans, and they're tucked into that stand behind Craig Gordon's goal.
I'm not so sure you can get a train home to Edinburgh tonight as well. So, you know, it's good on them. A lot of them come up on the Saturday and enjoy themselves. It's a great place to come, really.
How many can you cram in your car on the way back? Nice flick, Jordan White down the left-hand side. It's going to get away from Yandanda before he got there.
I think Andy Halliday's struggling now. See him again, just his body language, he's definitely feeling something. I don't know if it was his calf he's maybe pulled up with.
Well, it would be Nielsen coming on, you would think.
And Cochrane to left back.
Cochrane to left back.
Yeah, he's hoping it's going to go away, but he's not moving too freely at the moment. Andy Halliday. It's a throw-in on the other side. Michael Smith headed away by Harman. Infield it goes. Jordi Hawula tries to get there, can't control it. Michael Smith can clear, left-footed into the county half, controlled by Jack Baldwin. Across it goes to Callum Johnson, back to Ross Laidlaw. Beaten twice, the county keeper, wasn't going to be able to do anything about either. Rifled in by Lawrence Shankland's left foot for the equaliser, and the header from Halliday was magnificent from the corner kick from Snodgrass. Down the side for County goes Danda, looking to deliver out wide, but well, it was Andy Halliday. He's gone back down again. He is seriously hobbling now, but before he did go down, he managed to do a great job of blocking that cross.
It's just incredible. You know, I think Forrest is coming on, but there's Nielsen getting stripped as well.
Yeah,
that would be the natural one if Andy Halliday has to come off. Cochrane will then go to left back, Nielsen will come in, play alongside Civic, and then you would possibly bring Forrest on and take Ginnelly off.
Is that another centre-back pair now? I wouldn't imagine they've played together, have they?
No, Thursday night they ended the game like that again, yeah.
I think they've tried just about everything, Hearts, in central defence.
There was a bad rumour that Robbie said to Brian McLaughlin, I might need you for Sunday.
Yeah, that is worrying. I'm not liking that mental image at all. No. Here come County from the throw-in. Hawula plays it in towards White. Plenty of white shirts though, and Hearts get it clear. Hearts in their change strip of white tops and maroon shorts, white socks. And those two subs for Robbie Nielsen are standing by, getting a little word in their ear from the gaffer. Forrest and Nielsen. County play it up to Awura. He's coming in off the left. It's a good little run from him, and he squares it to Hawula. And if he'd taken a better touch, Jordi Hawula, he would have surely got a shot away. But it was that man the warrior that is Andy Halliday getting in another crucial challenge.
He's clearly struggling really badly, but what a challenge that is. Perfectly timed again, and he just gets up and goes on with it. Corner to defend.
The wounded warrior strikes again there with a really timely intervention, just as Iwula was about to pull the trigger. Corner kick, Ross County from the right side, curling in, and Baldwin and Iacovitti both trying to get there. Bricks back out. Victor Luturi with a shot into a ruck of players, blocked. Ball's not out yet. The ball was lost for a moment in among about half a dozen players. Now it's Connor Smith, didn't get it clear. Iwula has it back, lovely flick. Left hand side, Baldwin. And his left foot cross is shut down by Kimutsoglu. And now 2 subs has become 3, and George Grant is out of his sick bed, and he's going to be joining the fray as well. Connor Smith.
Grant on for Smith.
Yeah. So it will be Connor Smith. It will surely be Andy Halliday giving way as well. Yeah, it's Halliday off, Nielsen on, so it's going to be that change Alan was speaking about in the back 4. And the third change sees Alan Forrest coming on. Forrest trotting on. Hasn't seen a whole lot of game time, has he, in the last few weeks?
No, scored some early goals in the part of the season. He's coming off the right-hand side.
Yeah, it is Josh Ginnelly. Yeah. You two are just hitting the bullseye constantly here.
Honestly, this isn't our first rodeo.
It's an honour to be with you both.
Now you could see it. Young Connor Smith's done excellent. Really good young boy. He'll set up the opening goal. Ginnelly just switching off a little bit, and it's time for fresh legs with Forrest. It was a big performance from Ginnelly on Thursday night, and then obviously Andy Halliday's had to come off.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how these changes, whether they are seamless and whether Hearts can continue doing what they're doing. Ross County are throwing plenty at them at the moment. Sorry, Stuart, I interrupted you there. Throw in from Baldwin, left-hand side. To Luturi. Nice feet from him, gets away from Shankland. Baldwin curls in a cross ball, hesitation at the back from Hearts, and Ross County have missed an absolute sitter. Callum Johnson, I think it was, 6 yards out, he lobs a header over the crossbar. Hearts switched off. What a chance for 2-2.
He's got to score. He's ventured forward for the long throw from Baldwin initially. He finds himself middle of the 6 yard box, bouncing ball, neither centre back take care of it. Nielsen's just on the park obviously, and Craig Gordon's in a position where he's not sure whether he should come for it or not, but the young fullback, he has to hit the target. He gets it all wrong and blazes his header over the top of the crossbar.
I think he just loses his bearings. Sure, he doesn't know where he is, he doesn't know how close he is to goal. Sibbick's got to go and attack it. He lets the ball bounce in the box, can't afford to do that. And then you're right, he's got to score, but he just loses he doesn't know where he is, how far he's out, where is he, where are the goals, where is he, and he ends up just heading it over the bar.
Just as I was asking the question, I wonder will the sub slot in seamlessly, and Hearts switched off, didn't they? Not that it was necessarily a result of the changes, but it was certainly a big switch off, and you wonder now, as this game goes on, how much Ross County will regret what was a glaring miss, Stuart.
Yeah, again, you don't get better opportunities than what they've just found themselves in there, and I was just about to say a minute or so ago, it's so important that Hearts get something from the substitutes, because Ross County are piling on a wee bit of pressure now. They've had territorial advantage for the last 5 minutes or so, so I think that Hearts need that freshness. They need to kind of reinvigorate themselves moving forward in this second half, but Ross County have to keep banging the drum. They have to keep getting themselves into those positions and not get too frustrated either. They need to hang in this game.
Victor Luturi, lovely little spin on the ball, but almost gave it away. Has given it away now. Keogh slips it in field. Shankland is there. Shout for a handball. Not given, and it's Michael Smith on the overlap. His cross ball, nice delivery into the area. Nobody there at the back post. Johnson getting that header right defensively, even if he got his attacking header horribly wrong moments ago. But here come County. They're on the charge again. Plenty of spirit and endeavour about them and energy, and they just maybe need a little bit of composure inside the penalty box, and they'll get this game levelled up again, and we might be in for yet another Ross County Hearts draw.
You're a jinx.
It is 2-1 Hearts though, and the ball is out on the far side for a throw-in for Baldwin to play it back to Laidlaw.
It's been pressure, big pressure since the half-time whistle. Well, Ross County have dominated this second half so far.
But they need a goal, don't they?
Yeah.
They need something to hang on to in terms of a reward for what they've done so far. Because you can play as well as you like, but the scoreline is still 2-1 Hearts, chested down by White, looking for Awura. Instead it fell for Michael Smith. Back from Toby Sibbick to Craig Gordon. Craig Gordon must have feared the worst when he saw Callum Johnson close in with the ball dropping onto his head. But the fullback missed his big opportunity. Late one from Shankland on Harmon.
Yeah, right in front of the assistant referee. Malcolm Mackay's not happy at all. He's having a go at the fourth official now.
Just having a wee look at Victor Laturi since he came on, Rob. You know, I said it would be a like-for-like change. I think he's offered a little bit more, especially in possession, than maybe Cancola did. He's given Ross County a bit of vibrancy in that middle of the park, and he's been involved since he's come on the park, so it's been a good switch from them.
On the ball, Jack Baldwin into Jordi Hawula, and he slips and he loses his footing, and Cochrane has it, and Hearts might be onto something here. Cochrane slips it through, Shankland jinks inside, and that's a great block, but the ball takes a deflection and drops into the net.
Flag's gone up.
Yeah, the flag has gone up, much to Ross Laidlaw's relief, you would imagine. Didn't seem to know where that ball was when it was spinning over his head. Big deflection, the ball dropped in. Hearts thought they had a 3-1 lead.
Very tight, I would imagine, really tight. I think it's Shankland they're saying there, but it will be checked as always, as all goals are, but very, very tight, that one. Maybe Richard's seen it.
Yeah, it was Alex Cochrane who played the pass through for Shankland. It looked like a great block at the time, but the ball ended up in the back of the net, and just waiting for confirmation that the goal will not stand. And it is being checked by VAR. Richard's maybe had a look. Have you, Richard?
Sorry,
maybe you're not speaking to us.
I was just waiting for a microphone. Yes, I've had a look.
One?
I've had a look, but I haven't seen any lines. It is very tight. I'm going to say he's probably just off. But I think by the length of time
you were
takes.
right. You were right.
Well done.
You were just playing for time, weren't you, till it was confirmed?
I've not seen a line, be it red, yellow, blue,
We've
or
now
green.
seen the lines.
All right.
We've seen the light as well, and the game's back underway.
The rain is lashing down.
Yeah, it was sunshine early on. It's dinging it down at the moment. 2-1 Hearts. Baldwin missed by White, runs through to Jordi Hawula, almost found a way through. Good defending. Toby Sibbick stopped him. That newly formed partnership, certainly as of today, with Nielsen replacing Halliday and Cochrane now at left back.
It's another half opportunity there for Ross County, Rob. I actually think that Jordan White knows what he's doing. He has a little glance over his shoulder, just leaves it for Hawula, who's come in off the right hand side again. But he's got to gather the ball. He's a little bit frustrating. I've watched him again today, and bits that he does are very good, and he catches the eye, but in those occasions he must gather the ball and allow his team to get up the park and get support round about him.
Yeah, I think he's still to score a Premiership goal, hasn't he? He's got 3, but they were all in the League Cup. And he does flatter at times, and you do think he's lively. Good challenge, Johnson. Callum Johnson on the far side. He wasn't holding back, and a little bit of
a couple of Hearts players down now.
Yeah.
Kermit Soglu's certainly one of them.
It was Kai. It was Johnson flying into a couple of challenges on that far side. I wonder if he's feeling maybe a little bit of frustration about that missed chance earlier.
It's a full-blooded tackle, but I think it's perfectly fair. I think he makes good contact with the ball. He sort of flies in with his left foot, but he does keep himself on the ground. I don't think he's out of control. I think if he gets booked, which he does, it's for the reaction afterwards. It's nothing to do with the tackle.
Yellow for Callum Johnson.
And for Shankland as well.
Right. And the debate on the touchline continues. Robbie Nielsen and Malky Mackay, either side of the fourth official. Don't you just love being a fourth official when you're getting double edict from both the managers? It's
I'd like to see that Baldwin tackle again. I think it's a full-blooded challenge. I think he gets the ball, but it's at some force.
We're at the midway point in the second half. not quite the entertainment value of the first. It's been really all about, in the main, Ross County, but then the ball did end up in the back of the net, deflected for Hearts, and just a marginal decision to rule it out, and that would have made a massive difference, but it remains 2-1. Sibbick's header wins it against White into the middle of the pitch. Snodgrass is there to link with Mackay, just given straight back to Robert Snodgrass, who swings a ball up towards Shankland, breaks back towards George Grant, sliding in Danda. Good work from Awura as well to nick it off the toes of Michael Smith. Harmon clears. Jordan White claiming he's being held by Sibbick on the halfway line. The ball goes all the way through to Lewis Nielsen. Nielsen, Snodgrass, back to Craig Gordon, just calming things down, Hearts.
It's one of them again where the butterfly lands on his shoulder and he goes down.
Yeah. We're going to manage the game, Hearts, at 2-1 in front, having been 1 down after 11 minutes. Lewis Nielsen on the charge, a great run from him, and he plays the ball wide to Michael Smith on the right. 25 yards out, threads it forward, and it was Alan Forrest who had an angled shot which was just a couple of feet wide.
Yeah, brilliant from Nielsen, really good play, breaking from the back, running 40-50 yards in, and gets his head up. He sees Michael Smith making a great run. Two of the back four jumping out for Hearts, and his ball to Forrest down the line. Forrest is shot across the goal, cross come shot really, just wide of the target, but really good play from Nielsen.
It's been a feature of the play, Alan, hasn't it? They've all had a stint at stepping out from centre back. Sibbick done it in the first half, Cochrane's been capable of doing it, and this time Nielsen, it's a terrific run and pass. He plays it in the front foot so that Michael Smith can get forward.
Oh, that's a lovely touch and turn from Awura on the end of the Iakoviti pass. Really skillful, lots of poise about that. Here he is again, angling a run out right to get the ball back, and now looks to create something. Back it goes to Victor Laturi, a little shimmy, having a look at what's on. Out wide it goes. Callum Johnson's cross ball, headed away by Kimut Soglu. Bouncing out towards the touchline. Laturi nods it down. Johnson plays another cross ball in. Toby Sibbick with a header this time. County still in possession again. Jan Danda swings a cross ball, back post, bouncing in dangerous fashion before being collected by Awura, who rolls it back. George Harmon, his cross ball, well, it's a poor one. It's another poor delivery from him in a great position. A floated ball back post, and those are right up Craig Gordon Street.
Brilliant goalkeeping from him, just takes the pressure off. It's been really good pressure from Ross County, one wing to the next, balls played in, defended, and then that time it just hung up the back post and Craig Gordon comes out and collects it.
Delivery's got to be better, Stuart, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, Rob. But I've actually been impressed by young Harmon. I think he's done really well. He's a player they picked up from the low leagues down south, but just in the one or two occasions, he had one at the start of the second half, didn't he, where he flashed it across the 6-yard box, and in that occasion there's too much air in the ball, so potentially for him just an aspect of his game that just needs sharpened up, but everything else has been good from him. He's performed well.
Another change coming for Hearts shortly. It's going to be Ewan Henderson off the bench for them. Came off the bench Thursday night, I think, as well, didn't he, against RFS. In that game that Hearts won by 2-1. They're heading for Istanbul this week on March day 6 in the Conference League, as Robbie Nielsen hopes they learn the lessons that have been dished out. But they have got 6 points on the board as well, and there are pound signs attached to those as well. Harmon down the line for County. Jordan White laid it off, hoping that it was going to be taken on by Awura. A bit of a breakdown in communication between the pair of them.
Kermit Soglu's got a problem with his foot. They'll maybe just hold this sub just now to see how he is.
Yeah, Ewan Henderson was standing by, and he's still standing by.
I would think it would be for Barry Mackay. We'll have to see how Kermit Soglu is.
You're not a Keo man, no? Do you not go for the abbreviation?
Yeah.
Sometimes easier.
It is easier, especially if you want the name on the back of the strip. It's cheaper.
Wow, yeah, exactly. Maybe it was suggested to him that he'd go for Keo from a financial point of view. Throw in just underneath us. Michael Smith for Hearts, 2-1 up. The Tynecastle team. Shankland doing really well, surrounded by 2 or 3 county players, keeps the ball very effectively. It's been another great performance from him. He's at the top of his game at the moment. Hearts building something down the left-hand side. George Grant getting involved. Into the box for Shankland with his back to goal, rolls it out. And it is Keogh with a shot, which was always a little bit too high. Just skims the net on its way over the top.
It's really well worked again. Good hold-up play. Started at Shankland, and this occasion goes left, but he has the burst forward. He gets it back inside the penalty box. I think Keogh's a wee bit reluctant to strike it first time, Rob, when he should have. And I don't know if it's to do with the impact injury he had in his foot, but I think he's just got to take the effort on first time.
The referee gets a touch, but play goes on. Jan Danda still has it for Ross County, and he plays the ball wide to Callum Johnson. Full of running, the fullback. Can he deliver here? Heading for the corner flag. It's a determined run from him. Rolls it back out. Luturi's cross ball! No takers in the middle. What an opportunity for Ross County. Hawilla was close. White was close. Not close enough. And the ball is now on the left-hand side with Owura. That looked a big opportunity against you.
Yeah, it's Laturi again. Robbie keeps picking up that little inside channel just in the inside right position, and it's a wonderful delivery. And I actually thought that Jordan White got himself the correct side for him of Nielsen. I don't know if he just misses the ball, if there's slightly too much pace on it, but another wonderful opportunity for Ross County.
Great delivery into the box, just asking for the finish. Ewan Henderson is going to replace Barry Mackay, and Kazim Ole-Igbe is coming on for Canty to replace Jordi Hawilla.
Yeah, a slightly different type of player. He doesn't quite have the physicality of Hawilla, but what he is, he's almost a mirror of Owura Edwards. He's that direct, dynamic sort of ball carrier, so I would imagine that he'll be in a position where he'll be trying to take on Cochrane down that left-hand side and make sure that he's getting deliveries into the box. I think that'll be the purpose of the change for that one.
There's a push in the box. Kermit Soglu. Referee's seen it, he's looking right at it.
David Dickinson, the referee, having a word with Keogh and Jordan White as Ross County prepare to take a long throw here. They'll very quickly find themselves running out of time. Ross County at 2-1 down. That clock is ticking. It's Jack Baldwin winding up for the long throw, helped on into the mix and cleared by Hearts, and Alan Forrest has it. And he plays one looking for Shankland, fended away by Harmon.
He's got to overhit that, Forrest. He has to. Ewan Henderson's very quick. He's got to overhit it there. But you know, that's, you look now, that's Hearts. They're more experienced now. If something goes wrong with 15 to go to anyone, it's the kids left. Or do you chuck a goalie on?
Couple of goalies. Throw in midway inside the Hearts half. Michael Smith to Alan Forrest, straight back out of play. Throw in Ross County. 15 minutes to go in Dingwall. 2-1 Hearts. Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland, on the back of Livingston 0, Hearts 3 earlier, and this is the final game of the Premiership weekend. Hearts, having been a goal down, are 2-1 ahead. The scoreline as it was on 20 minutes when Andy Halliday's header went in off the underside of the crossbar. Victor Laturi picking the ball up in a deep area again and switching it across to Iacovitti. Jan Danda in front of him. Plenty creativity on the pitch for Ross County. Can they find a way? But it's a poor pass back inside, which sets up Ewan Henderson. Well won by Iacovitti with a lunging challenge, but Hearts have it back, and it's Forrest in the middle of the pitch driving forward. Little back heel releases Cochrane down the left hand side into Grant. Shot blocked.
It hit his face, I think, more than his hand.
Back with Cochrane again, but it's a good ball winning from Laturi. Now looks for a pass, squares it across to Iacovitti. Pouring so much into the second half, Ross County, to try and get something out of the game. Still they trail. Danda looks to fire one across the pitch, but never looked like finding its target. Hearts have it with Snodgrass, who calms things down with a pass back to Sibic. Michael Smith, Keogh up to Forrest. Kermit Soglu again lofts it down the line. Michael Smith, lovely touch to control the ball. Back with Keogh, who reckoned he was caught by Tilson, but got his pass away to Forrest. Infield for Snodgrass, lays it back to the shot at goal, and it goes wide.
Yeah, deserved booking. He catches Kermit Soglu there. But really good play from Hearts down the right-hand side. Michael Smith's involved as well. It goes in, and eventually the shot just wide of the target, but patient play from Hearts.
Just a little change, and Ross County have to be aware of it, Rob, just in the sense that Henderson's now playing as the number 9 and Shankland's sort of dropped into a number 10 position. So Henderson's obviously got that pace, so the turnover of ball now becomes a different scenario for Ross County. The centre-backs need to defend that space in behind them, and I would imagine that Hearts for the remainder of the game will look to try and feed that type of ball down the side of the centre-backs.
Well, it was bright when this match started. It's distinctly gloomy now in Dingwall as the rain continues to pour down. And it will start to look pretty gloomy for Ross County's prospects shortly of getting anything from this game as the clock ticks down. 2-1 though, still there's hope that they can turn 0 into 1 point at least. Tilson to Ola Igby, back with Iacovitti, and square it goes to Jack Baldwin, still inside his own half. Rolled into the feet of Kazim Ola Igby, and he looks to dink a ball in behind Cochrane, but easily defended by Hearts. Ross County need to be asking more serious questions as we get into the closing stages. Danda puts his foot in the ball, leaves it for Harmon. Back with Iacovitti. Victor Laturi down the middle for Jordan White. Stumbles and falls, and the pass didn't stick. Grant.
Lovely touch.
Lovely touch from Shankland to Henderson, who's quick, heading for the byline. Well defended by Baldwin, but he gives it away. Handing possession back. Another couple of Ross County changes, 3 of them in fact, to come here as they throw everything at turning the scoreline around from 2-1 down. Sims and Samuel are 2 of them, and Keith Watson as well coming on for Ross County. Meantime, Hearts have a chance to kill it.
It's Henderson. It's fell to the wrong guy. It's Henderson and not Shanklin. I thought it was Shanklin initially.
The tame effort in the end from Henderson straight at Laidlaw, and a goal now, and it's curtains for County.
Yeah, it is, and maybe just a little bit sloppy from them. Hearts are starting to get a better handle of the ball. With the changes of Ross County, I'm not so sure it's helped them necessarily. I know they're going to make another 3 changes here just now. I'm just looking at Alex Iacovitti. He seems to be the one that's kind of been hobbling about, which would account for the Keith Watson change if he comes on. But Sims coming on, Samuel as a striker, they're throwing everything at it, as Malky has a tendency to do, which is great from a Ross County point of view. But I still think that they have to play with that structure, Rob, and just be mindful of what Hearts have in the offensive areas.
Tilson and Harmon are off, and Awura will join them on the sidelines shortly. Simpson, Samuel and Watson.
I think for Hearts to see it through now as well, Stuart. You know, Snodgrass and Keogh in that middle of the park there, just sit in, protect that back 4 and allow the other 4 to go and just play. You know, Forrest take it to the corners, make sure Henderson's the willing runner, Grant on the left hand side, and Shanklin's very clever playing in that 10 role.
The experience for Hearts been excellent, hasn't it, through that kind of tough spell they had down in second half. But Snodgrass for me has been excellent. Smith at times with his experience, they've really kind of seen them through that tough spell.
We're well inside the last 10 minutes of the game. Ross County 1, Hearts 2. Malky Mackay ringing the changes. Will they have some impact? Danda for the home team plays it forward. Sibic clears. The header missed by Keith Watson. Almost at his first touch, but missed the header. Victor Laturi on the ball. Back it goes. Iacovitti on the left side plays it forward. Diving header by Michael Smith. Got a glance on it, heading back towards his own goal. Out of his area came Craig Gordon to clear. Sims, nice change of pace, change of direction. Slips a pass inside to Samuel. Alongside is Danda. Wide right, Callum Johnson. Back for Danda, into the box, awkward on the turn, great effort by Samuel, took it on the half volley with his back to goal, round the corner it went, it was sneaking in at the base of the post until Craig Gordon dived across to turn it around.
Didn't think there was an opportunity there, Rob, but it's excellent from Dominic Samuel how he swivels on his right foot, puts it low. There's not a great deal of pace on it, but what another excellent save from Craig Gordon to see it through the bodies to get down, but also to push it towards safety. I've seen a couple of times this weekend's goalkeepers pushing things back into the danger area.
Corner kick, right hand side, in it comes. Ross County throwing plenty at it.
An elbow there. It's a bad one.
Clash of heads.
Both of them have got both of them. That looked a horrible one.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, actually, was it Baldwin? No, was it Baldwin for County?
Yeah, I think it's Jack Baldwin.
He's back on his. Yeah, he's back on his feet.
But I think it was Cochrane, wasn't it? Yeah, he was fully committed. You see him on the bouncing ball, goes all the way in. Both players brave, but it looks as if he's come off for the worst. Just see him getting back towards his feet, which is good.
And thankfully, both of them are okay, because that was a horrible clash.
Yeah, you did feel the worst initially there, but they're both back on their feet. They're both okay. With
excellent again. Cochrane's been really, for a young boy, he's been brilliant.
Alan, what's been noticeable for me, you obviously see a lot more of Hearts than I do, is players been asked to play in different positions, but you look at their application and their attitude towards doing the job, which I think is great. It shows a really good buy-in to the manager and what he asks you to do. And listen, we can see it, and a lot of players don't do it. It's not natural sometimes if you're playing out of position, but Cochrane in particular, left back, left centre back, he's done the job manfully.
Yeah, for a young boy he's good, and for an old boy, Craig Gordon continues to be maturing like a fine wine. That's another fine stop from him. Really good save.
It's brilliant for Snodgrass as well, using all his experience. Anders all over him. You know, he's trying to win the ball, can't get near him.
We're into the final 5 minutes in Dingwall. Hearts can see the finishing line, and they can see 6th place in the Premiership. Up 3 if they can get all 3 points. They are on track. Nielsen with the free kick forward towards Shanklin, who goes down to no great avail. Play goes on. County play the ball forward for Jordan White. He manages to prod a pass towards Jan Danda. Hearts looking to flood players back. Lovely pass into Sims. He gathered it well, but had the ball nicked off his toes at the crucial moment, just as he was weaving his way into the Hearts penalty box. This game is not yet over. Baldwin to Laturi. Watson to Iacoviti, left-hand side, down the line for County, in behind Michael Smith, gets there before Jordan White, the fullback clearing, Iacoviti's header, Keogh plays it away, just gets it down the pitch, cleared by Baldwin, but straight at Shanklin, right-hand side for Hearts, the man who scored the goal which made it 1-1. Now Forrest attacking down the right hand side, and wriggle his way into the penalty box, and it was Josh Sims stopping him, getting the ball clear. Out it goes, and Hearts in no great hurry to take the throw, and they will slow things down.
Rob, as that move was going on, the ball dropped to Shanklin, and I had visions of him at Tannadice that time, where he smashes it over the keeper. He's seen Laidlaw off his line.
Yeah, it has been known, hasn't he, more than once, to score from long range. Not really bothered where he scores from at the moment, but he's certainly scoring regularly. 5 and 3 for him, 11 for the season, 8 in the Premiership, plus a couple of assists. He is delivering big style. Hearts have the ball close to the corner flag, and it's probably not going to go anywhere else, but it has in the end gone behind for a goal kick. County have to be in a hurry here.
Yeah, again, I think from a Hearts point of view, Rob, they've got the likes of Josh Sims right in the left back position. He's another one similar to Danda. He's not played a lot of football, but he's a natural wide player. Ross County need him higher up the pitch.
The ball launched upfield towards Jordan White, headed away by Lewis Nielsen. Hearts just need to keep the ball at this stage and manage it through towards the full-time whistle. But here they go on the attack, and they might just have a final flourish here as the ball is played across the edge of the box to Shanklin. Keeps it, rolls it back. Michael Smith is there. Shanklin again. A little flick down the line towards Forrest. keeping County hemmed in at the moment. That's the main ploy. Laturi had it, lost it. Now trying to win it back. Shankland, though, looking to wriggle away. Laturi again, but County are much closer to their own penalty box than the other one, which is where they want to be. Danda with an ambitious pass, which goes astray. And possession is back again with Hearts. And it's Robert Snodgrass looking to take control in these closing stages and get Hearts where they want to be. Grant gives it away, left-hand side, into the middle for County. Jan Danda running with the ball. It's all about decision-making now. He's at the right corner of the penalty box, and he gets it back. His cross ball, but straight into the welcoming gloves of Craig Gordon. And the Hearts fans packed into that stand behind him are more than happy.
Yeah, it's slack from George Grant, isn't it? Snodgrass again done so well to slow the game down, take a bit of pressure off of Hearts and feeds it into George Grant. He's sloppy in possession and just invites a wee bit of pressure from Ross County with the cross ball. But what an example Snodgrass is. We keep saying it, we keep banging on. What an example of how to play out the game. They're sitting 2-1 up, and just to manage the game and play in the right areas and take your time in possession, show a bit of composure. I think he's been first class today.
We're almost at 90 minutes. We'll find out right now how much time is going to be added on. It's 4 minutes to go. Stuart Kettlewell, what happened to your second half goal fest?
It's still been entertaining, Rob. I did give it the kiss of death, of course, but it's been really entertaining. The first half certainly has outshone the second half, but there's been no lack of commitment from both sets of players.
He's got that wrong. The linesman's got that wrong. That's a Hearts throw-in.
It's gone Ross County's way. And
going to book Michael Smith.
Yeah, Michael Smith throws the ball back, and it catches Josh Sims in a fairly delicate area.
Shankland flicks it off the Ross County player, and it goes out. Giacoviti it flicks off.
Could they not have put that to VAR, no?
Don't be here till about 6 o'clock.
Well, indeed. Victor Laturi on the ball for Ross County. We're inside stoppage time in Dingwall. Well, he's weaving little patterns with the ball, but Ross County need to get it forward. They need to create one late chance and take it. And we wondered at the time how much they would regret that Callum Johnson header. And the answer is big time, because at the moment it is Hearts who are heading for maximum points here. Keogh crossing halfway for the Tynecastle team. Alan Forrest comes in off the right side. Snodgrass in possession, but not for long. Relieved of it by County. Danda to Johnson. Johnson through for Ola Igby. Right down the middle he goes, but he loses track of the ball. Hearts get it away. County try to win it back, and all the time the clock is ticking towards David Dickinson's final whistle. Laturi in the middle of the pitch again. Sounds of impatience around the ground. They want the ball forward. Now Sims on the left. Plays it forward to Samuel. That good effort saved by Craig Gordon earlier. Now Danda. Ola Igby. And Johnson wide right. Getting ever deeper into those 4 added minutes. Crossfield to Iacoviti. Is there going to be a late twist in the tail? Josh Sims to the byline, back onto the right foot. His cross ball! And it was the chance that Jordan White was waiting for, but he was heading away from goal, and he didn't get enough power on it to beat Craig Gordon.
It was a really good ball in, and he gets it. There's maybe not enough power on the cross, and he's got to step out the way, White, to get on it. He's got to put all the pace on the ball. He just can't do it enough, and Craig Gordon comes out and picks it up.
It's not unlike the technique that Andy Halliday showed, Alan, is it, for the corner for Hearts' second goal.
And you do fear, from a Ross County point of view, that was the moment, that was the chance, but it was a difficult one, no doubt about it, for Jordan White to put that in the back of the net from there, especially with the giant figure of Craig Gordon in the goal.
If we can see this through, Rob, this has been Thursday night. Myself and Craig Levine were saying it could be such a big result for the club, not only financially, but what it'll do for these players. And again today, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Decimated with injuries again today. Halliday having to come off, Mackay struggling, Grant's out there having not been well the last 24 hours. It's not done yet, but what a 3 points this would be.
Not done yet, but not far away, and the Hearts fans, as you can hear in the background, are in celebration mode already. We have only 30 seconds to go of the 4 added minutes. Ross County need something to happen instantly. The ball's out just underneath us for a throw-in for the home team. Well, it's going to be a long throw to end proceedings here, and Ross County need to cash in. Well, it's not going to be a long throw. Jack Baldwin takes it short instead to Victor Loturi. He angles a ball into the area. Desperate measures to try to get the ball clear. Ross County trying to keep it in there, forced away by Snodgrass. And there goes the final whistle. And the Hearts players on the pitch are jumping for joy. And that's reflected by the reaction of the Hearts fans behind Craig Gordon's goal. Having got that European win on Thursday night, they've followed it up a few days later with 3 precious Premiership points against Ross County. And they move into the top 6 in the Premiership. And they overhaul Livingston and St Johnstone and Motherwell in the process. They were a goal down inside 11 minutes when Jordan White scored, but they showed true character and lots of ability to come back very quickly and turn the match on its head. Within 15 minutes, Lawrence Shankland had rifled in his 11th goal of the season, and on 20 it was Andy Halliday who was hobbling him back onto the pitch for a little bit of celebration here, having gone off injured earlier. But before that, he met Robert Snodgrass's delivery from the corner kick with a header which flashed in off the underside of the crossbar. We wondered at that point, with 3 goals in 20, how many we were going to get, but that has ended up being the final score. Ross County certainly gave it their best shot second half. They threw plenty at trying to get something out of this game, but they slipped to the bottom of the Premiership on goal difference. Hearts are in the top half, and it feels like a significant result this for Robbie Nielsen and co. Final score in Dingwall: Ross County 1, Hearts 2.
On digital radio.